Telco Sports welcomes you to our coverage of high school girls soccer. Where the Miami East Vikings will take on the Botkins Trojans. Today's game is brought to you by the following sponsors: First National Bank, Keyhole Pizza, Precision Strip, Winners Meats, and NK Telco. Good morning. Once again, my name is Jeff Henschen here from Botkins, where we have a very competitive first game of the season for each of these schools here today between Miami East and Botkins, as we are meeting the starting lineups, and they just did Miami East, and we'll catch up here with the Trojans, or with first the non-starters for the Trojans. And while they do that, I'll go through the starters for the Miami East Vikings. Number 0, Addison Long. Number 3, Olivia Loafman. Number 5, Karis Miller. Number 7, Mara Fine. Number 8, Kennedy L. Fritz. Number 16, Jenna Taylor. 17, Maria Rohrman. 18, Katie Paulus. Number 21, Marin Gross. 23, Haley Barnes. 24, Logan Phillips. Those are your starters for Miami East. Your starters now for Botkins being introduced include number 1, Delaney Munger. Number 5, Reagan McPherson. Number 6, Elia Monin. Number 7, Aubrey Top. Number 9, Camden Paul. Number 12, Delana Pitts. Number 14, Addison Blindauer. Number 15, Ava Woodruff. Number 18, Lily Bayless. Number 20, Mulaney Monin. And number 20, Zoe Longbrake. Those are your starters. Now it's time for our national anthem here on NK Telco Sports.
At First National Bank, we are working hard to make your life a little easier. With products like Card Valet, an app allowing you to control your cards with real-time notifications, transaction restrictions, and spending limits. The ability to access your money through 55,000 all-point ATMs across the country, surcharge-free. Live customer support when you need it, and online and mobile banking, allowing you to gain access to your financial information wherever and whenever you like. First National Bank, making your life a little easier.
Hi, I'm Mallory. My grandpa's been making the world's worst pizza for 30 years. That doesn't look like the world's worst pizza. Grandpa, I know why they call you Chunky Bob. It's because you use chunky ingredients on your pizza.
Of course, it's not because I'm fat.
Grandpa, this is the world's best pizza. Keyhole Pizza, come check Grandpa out.
Dine in or carry out.
Welcome back to Botkins. Jeff Henschen here to bring you today's soccer match. And we met the starting lineups. I did not introduce the coaches. For Miami East, in his 4th season as head coach, Jeremy Paulus. He's assisted by Coach Cindy Sorof. And for Botkins, their head coach is Pedrig Murphy in his 3rd season. Last year, Miami East was 15-4. And the Trojans last season, 10-3-3. So very competitive teams last year, and they'll look to build on that success here as we go through this opening kick here for the keys of the game. Our first one for Botkins is they want to build on that senior veteran experience they have coming back from a very good season last year. They also want to be aggressive. Don't let the younger Vikings get some easy opportunities, and that leads into the third key to the game. Limit mistakes. Don't give the Vikings an easy opportunity with a careless ball handling mistake. And for the Vikings, who lost 10 seniors last year, they'll look for their younger squad, have some key people back, but have a lot of shoes to fill from a team that lost 10 seniors. How they respond today against a good Botkins team. Also, another key for the Vikings is play their pace. Don't get in a running match with a more veteran Botkins squad. And finally, for the Vikings, they want to stay confident and stay positive. Things are maybe going to be a little rough at first, but they have a long season ahead of them and a good way to find a test, if you will, where they're at here, the younger kids, on where they relate or stand against a very good Botkins squad. As we're underway here, the first of 2 40-minute halves as we begin action here. Botkins in the black uniforms and the Vikings in the white shirts, blue shorts, as we Again, just a couple minutes almost into this ball game, and mention the starters. Would also like to announce who the keepers are. And for Botkins, in the green shirt, as she will have a go over her head. Tough break for Delaney Munger, the keeper. And that goal was made by number 11. Nice kick, though. Good placement. And it was not 11. It was nonetheless a Miami Viking goal at 38 to play in the first half. Quick scoring. Good start for the young Viking squad. Vikings now trailing early here. Numbers hard to read on the black jerseys with black numbers. Cross to the middle. No one home for the Trojans. It will scoot through. And it'll stay, or it'll go out of bounds. So it'll be a goal kick for the Vikings. Official confirmation from the Lady Viking goal, and that was by the coach's daughter, Katie Paulus, number 18, with the first score of the game at a 38 mark. So a good start for the Vikings. Again, lost 10 seniors last year. Also experiencing low numbers are the Vikings this year, according to head assistant coach Cindy Sarof. Limited or smaller numbers in first time this season in school history. It's the smallest it's been, so they'll look to take what they have and go to work, and a good start for them today, getting the first score of the game. Right now the Vikings trying to clear their area, but it's taken away, and it'll be Botkins on a throw-in. A beautiful day here at Botkins. 11 o'clock kickoff here locally, just off of Interstate 75, but a beautiful morning. Warm, but not hot conditions. And following this 11 o'clock game, the boys will take the pitch at 1 o'clock for game 2 today. There's a good pass up the middle. No one home for the Vikings, and the Trojans will tap it out of bounds for a throw-in from the side. Your officials today, just touching the ball there along the sideline, was Joe Jeffries. And across the pitch on the far side of your TV screen is Dustin Winrick. The two men in red today calling the matchup between the Vikings and the Trojans. Vikings, I mentioned last year, 10-3-3. They were 4-1 in the West Ohio Soccer League. They returned all but one starter from that team last year, a veteran team with 8 upperclassmen and 5 upperclassmen with varsity experience. So a lot of veteran leadership on the pitch today for the Trojans. In the past 2 seasons, the Trojans have been able to put up double-digit victories. So that's been a momentum builder, and they're looking to try to win a first-ever league title. As the first corner kick of the game will belong to the Vikings. It is cleared, and Delaney Munger, a sophomore keeper for the Trojans, wearing a bright green shirt, will put it into play. Also, the Trojans have picked up some tough competition, or try to increase their schedule strength with some outside competition, again, to help them get ready for tournament play. And there's a foul. It'll be a foul on the Trojans, and a direct kick now for the Vikings. Number 5, Karis Miller, sophomore midfielder, with the strike. Just over 6 minutes played here in the first of 2 40-minute halves. Pass on the outside, skips out of bounds. Kennedy Ellifritz, number 8, midfielder, senior, with the throw in. Vikings will tap it out again, as in the area for the Vikings was Katie Paulus, the coach's daughter, a junior, who scored the game's first and only goal to this point at the 38 mark. A nice angle shot just over the hands of keeper Delaney Munger for the Trojans to score. With another shot on goal, but stopped this time was Olivia Loafman. Good job by Munger dropping down, securing the attack. Trojans cross midfield. The push through is too much, and the Vikings will clear it out after a good attempt there by the Trojans to keep it on their side. Ball skips out, and Vikings will take control. Good job by the ball girl to be there, and she's the only one on this side, so she is going to have her work cut out for her with a little younger ball girl to make sure the ball is ready for play. There's one on the other side in a red shirt, so those two will be up and down the pitch. And there's, I believe, offside. Indirect kick now for the Trojans. Some of the captains for Botkins: senior Reagan McFerrin, senior Camden Paul, and senior Delana Pitts. I believe she goes by Dee Dee Pitts from my experience with doing her basketball games. And Camden Paul, pretty sure, might have been the player of the year last year in the league. A very good player coming back for her senior season. Right now the Vikings with control, trying to advance into Trojan territory. Just over 32 minutes to play first half. Good job so far by the younger Vikings, keeping the pace of play under control, not getting into a running match and not giving the Trojans really any good looks. Vikings have had a couple shots, and they capitalized on the one. Other than that, it's been pretty well played defensive game. Both teams doing a fine job of taking away the angles. Now there's a through ball and a chance here, as Botkins won't be able to take advantage. Good job, it looks like, by number 24, Logan Phillips, senior midfielder, able to squelch that attack, as Botkins did have a ball go through, couldn't finish it, and good job again by number 24, Logan Phillips. Miami East able to attack across, and it's punched out. It'll be their throw-in in front of the Botkins bench. Miami East head coach Jeremy Paulus in his 4th season, assistant coach Cindy Sarof. And for the Trojans in his 3rd season, Pedrig Murphy for the Botkins Trojans. Action on the far side. The ball goes through the 18 and picked up by Delaney Munger, and she will boot it out with a sophomore keeper. Again, a beautiful afternoon, or a beautiful morning, I should say, as it's still not yet noon here, but a pleasant day, not too hot. The humidity's low, and the sun is somewhat behind some clouds, so it's not too bright, but a beautiful facility here at Botkins. They've done a lot here on this Botkins Park, and continue to make improvements, and a beautiful setup for soccer and track. And trying to keep the program strong here, as they've put together a couple of good seasons. Miami East also looking to build upon a 15-4 season last year. So both these teams bring a lot of victories to the plate today and don't like losing and have not experienced it very much. Through ball up for the Vikings on the far side. Botkins are able to get back, and the shot on goal will be captured, controlled by Munger. On a far side attack by the Vikings, and that ball is booted down to the midfield line and across. And there is a whistle, and we'll have an indirect kick, foul, or violation against the Vikings. Just to the right of the midfield stripe. The ball put into play for Botkins. Trojans down inside the 18, looking for some attack or angles to get some good swing on it, if you will. Shot across the middle. No one home, picked up and deflected out of bounds by Logan Phillips, number 24, to be a corner, no, to be a throw-in for the Trojans on the top left of your screen. No substitutions so far. It's been the same 11 for each team. Vikings again looking to attack. On the far side, it's picked up, knocked out of bounds by the Trojans, and right in front of the Botkins bench. Quickly, the Vikings are now they'll slow up, and nothing working for a fast break, so reset, reload, and basically all other 21 players on this side of the pitch, with a lone keeper for the Vikings on the left. The ball batted out of bounds again to the fence, and it'll stay in the park, and a throw in on the far side for the Vikings. Both these schools are in Division III Girls High School Soccer. There's 3 divisions of girls soccer in Ohio High School Athletic Association. Basketball, there's 4, and football, there's 7. Yeah, 7 for football, so that gives you an idea of size of schools these are. They both represent Division III. It's girls soccer split up into 3 divisions. Vikings are members of the Three Rivers Conference, the TRC. That league is new. It's about 3 years old. Not all the schools in that league, though, are fielding a soccer girls team this year, but that is the league that Miami East Vikings are in, Three Rivers Conference. Vikings clear it. And they'll pass it up. Katie Paulus is up there, but defended, taken away by a Botkins player. A battle for it. And a good job there to avoid the corner kick. It's tapped out of bounds on the touchline and throw in for the Vikings. The attack there, the swing by Marin Gross is misplayed by the Trojans a little bit, but back there to secure the swing or the kick is Munger, and she clears it, and the Trojans trying to put some offense together. On the left side. And that one goes out of bounds, and the substitute for the Trojans will come in, and that'll be our first substitute today. And if my eyes were better, I could tell you the numbers better. I'm still working on that. And evidently it will not be a corner kick. It was off of Botkins, so a goal kick by the Vikings. And I believe the first sub was number 13 for the Trojans, and that is Taylor Heitkamp, or Hulskamp, Taylor Hulskamp, sophomore, into the ballgame. She had the touch throw, or the throw in there from the sideline. Whistle and direct kick coming up. Violation on the Trojans. It'll be Miami East ball with 25:35. Clock moving, does not stop here in the first half. So just about 15 minutes into this first half. A quick goal by the Vikings early by Paulus, the only score so far. Vikings, to my stats, really have not had any shots on goal, and currently I've got Miami East down for 4 attacks as that through ball gets through, but Paulus could not take advantage of it. A little bit too much in front. Botkins recovers, and they will try to get something working on the left side of the pitch. But right now the Vikings have control of the ball, and will spread it around and try to find a crease or an angle to go to work offensively. Paulus is waiting, got to stay on side until the ball is kicked, and then you can explode, if you will, past the second to last person defensively. The keeper's the one usually, and then another defender. You just have to be on the far side of that second person when the ball is kicked before you can advance or cherry pick down the field. And that's where speed comes into play, and Paulus is a heads-up ball player and quick and strong with the ball. Back to midfield. It goes on the far side for the Vikings. There they try to get Paulus again on the left side. Her middle pass is knocked away by a Trojan and looking for Lothman, but she was not able to get a attack on it. Trojans will clear it. That will go out of bounds. Trojans will toss it in. A next sub for the Trojans. Waiting to throw in is Taylor Huelskamp. That was Camden Paul that had it, and this, I think, is Pitts. Paul with the ball now. Far side pass. And that might have been Pax, who just came in. Again, the numbers are very difficult for Botkins to read. Black on black with a dark gold trim. Indirect for the Trojans. Indirect signals are, this will be a direct kick with the arm horizontal to the ground or parallel to the ground as a direct kick. So that means this is eligible to score if it goes in off of one touch. Indirect kicks, the hand is held by the official high in the air or perpendicular to the ground. Is basically the first shot on goal is saved there by Addison Long, the Viking keeper. Ball passed down the field, no one home as Delaney Munger will run it down and put it back into play. She just has to kick it before it leaves the 18-yard mark. Once she passes the 18-yard mark, she's a normal player, and then obviously can't use the hands at that point. Botkins offense stalls as the Vikings come up with a nice defensive footwork to take the ball away, and will advance it down the right side. Olivia Lothman with it, doing a nice job until she's finally cut off by a Botkins player. Pass out of bounds will be Vikings throwing. And again, this little number 9 ball girl is having a workout here on this side today, up and down the pitch with numerous touch or throw-ins from the touch line. Pitts bumped out of bounds. It'll stay with the Vikings. And number 12 is Dee Pitts, one of the 3 captains for the Trojans. Not for sure if I mentioned them. They are Delaney Pitts, a captain, Camden Paul is a captain, and also Reagan McFerrin. No one home as it crosses over and into Vikings territory on the far side. Looks like 23 Haley Barnes with the recovery. Ball back into play again into Vikings territory where Mara Fine will control it, pass it middle, and the Vikings again have not given the Trojans many good looks offensively, as they've somewhat controlled the tempo, pace, or ball control so far here in the first half. Battle for the ball between a couple players, one of them being number 8, Kennedy Ellifritz. This goes out of bounds, and that will be a corner kick. I have that now as a second corner kick of the half. Ellifritz, number 8, midfielder, senior midfielder, will put it into play as her teammates await the attempt. Ball is one-hopped in. There, Ellifritz with a nice option. High ball is cleared and goes through, and still, though, the Vikings maintain possession. And A strong shot. It goes through the hands of Munger, but and luckily for Munger, she deflected it enough to avoid it going in. And that long shot was by number, I'm looking over there, pink shoes. I'll figure it out here in a second when I get a good look on the number, maybe 23, Barnes. Some more attack in and around the Botkins net. Trojans trying to clear it, while Miami East trying to score it. That shot off the mark by Fine, and Botkins will survive the scare of a couple opportunities for the Vikings that had a chance but did not score. And number 23, Haley Barnes, was the last Viking who had that shot that went through Munger's hands and off to the right for a good shot but no goal. But ball control today so far here in the first half has been dominated by the Vikings. Much of the action on the right side of the field, the pitch. Botkins has had limited opportunities as they advance it now. Try to get the through ball up to Paul, but it's cut off, and Miami East does a nice job. Now they return the favor. They'll punch it through. A little bit of a foot race here as everybody stays on side. Botkins able to slow down the attack. Battle down the right side as there's a foul, a whistle, a violation on the Trojans. Direct kick coming up now for number 8, Kennedy Ellifritz. Again, a direct kick. Arm for the official is held parallel to the ground, and that means the ball is live to score. Indirect kick ball, the hand is held perpendicular to the ground or straight up in the air and must be touched by someone in order to score. As that shot on goal is fielded by Munger cleanly. As we just went over under the 17-minute mark of the first half, so 16 minutes, 45 seconds left here in the first half. The lone goal came way back early, just into the ball game at the 38 mark. That goal was by Katie Paulus, number 18 on the roster, junior in school, and her dad, Jeremy, is in his 4th season as the head coach. Throw in, or yep, there it is on the touch line on the far side of the pitch. Botkins loses control. Now the Vikings. A good ball movement there as Ellifritz was in the area for the Vikings. Ball got past her, and now across the midfield, the Trojans will try to control it. Camden Paul, number 9 on the roster. Good player for the Trojans, is one of many upperclassmen that have come back. I believe 8 is what I said earlier. Veteran team with 8 upperclassmen. They return all but just one starter from last year's squad that went 10-3, or 10-3-3, 10 wins, 3 losses, 3 ties. And ball is headed out by the Vikings. Vikings, though, possession. And the first shot on goal there by the second shot on goal by the Trojans, that time Taylor Hulskamp, is fielded cleanly by keeper Addison Long, sophomore keeper for the Vikings in the blue shirt. Ball stays in bounds. I thought it was heading out. It does curl back in off of the Trojans. Paulus quickly picks it up. There's a whistle. I believe a sub was signaled, and that'd be Miami East subbing in a player, and they had control, so they can sub. And with that sub, Botkins can also bring players in. This is number 18, Katie Paulus, with the throw-in from the near touch line. Loafman back to Paulus. Paulus centers it. Momentary chance there for Courtney Walker, number 13, but it's cleared out. Now the Trojans one-on-one, and a nice foot save by sophomore keeper Addison Long, with Paul coming on her 1v1, made a nice foot conflict or deflection and saved the opportunity for the Vikings. Quickly on the other end, Paulus with a softer shot on goal this time, but fielded nicely by Munger. So back-to-back up and downs for each team. No goals scored. Battle at the midfield is momentarily won by the Trojans. Paul appears to have it. She goes down, whistle, foul. Direct kick coming up. This is Camden Paul, number 9 on the roster. She will have a chance here. Plenty strong to get a good swing on it from this distance. And the attack. Fielded by Long, and she does a nice job. It's maybe a little bit off to the right, but practice good habits, make the catch, which is what she did. And she puts it in play just inside the 18-yard box. If we were breaking down the first half into 10-minute quarters, we were just about to the end of the third quarter. Just over 12 minutes to play. And once we get into that final 10 minutes, that'll be like the fourth quarter of the first half. There's a through ball. Foot race now for it. Cleared by the Trojans. Loss taken away, and a shot taken by number 24, Logan Phillips. Secured by Delaney Munger. Paul battling with number 21, Marin Gross. Vikings, again, have, for the most part of this half, held the ball or had possession of the ball most of the time on their side or the Vikings side of the field trying to score. Now the Trojans here recently have come up with a couple opportunities, but short-lived if they have had them, and the Vikings again now recover and advance the ball down the field. Far side with number 18, Katie Paulus. A couple Vikings players slow her down. And on the far side, Haley Barnes had a nice attempt from distance earlier in the half. It went through the hands of keeper Munger, but just skipped to the right of the goal post, so nothing to show for her effort, but a good strong kick from distance from Barnes earlier in the half. She's over there now battling with the Trojans on the far side in front of the Vikings bench. Through ball, and looks like Paul's going to attack, get it. Her swing will be off the bar. I believe that one hit off the left post. So it just shows you they haven't got her many chances, but Camden Paul, a very good player from last season. Again, I believe she was player of the year in their league and has some Botkins scoring records. You know what? I have that information. I'll just read it. Camden Paul Sr. was the West Ohio Soccer League player of the year last season, first team WOSL in the 22 season, third team All-Miami Valley. So yes, she was in fact, and I want to thank Jeremy Plyman from Botkins for supplying that information to me. A couple other players had good honors last year. Addison Blindauer, a sophomore, first team for the Trojans last year. Delaney Munger, sophomores, first team. Delaney Pitts was first team, and Elia Manan also first team. So a number of Trojans recorded league honors. Reg McFerrin and Zoe Longbreak honorable mention. That was last year as they look to build on that success with, there's a Viking that goes down. She pops back up. That was number 21 that Maren Gross kind of caught the top of the ball, went down, but she pops back up. But the Trojans, again, after a great season last year, returned a lot to the table this year, and they're looking to take advantage of that and go to work for bigger and better. Right now, though, they trail by 1. Paulus with the ball. Her attack deflected off of a Trojan. Good defensive play by Botkins to deflect, if you will, the attempt by Paulus. As that one scoots way off the end of the pitch. As again, the very active ball girl today will get some help from a gentleman way down below to get that errant shot. And meanwhile, with 8:25 to play, number 21, Maren Gross, one of the 4 quad captains, with the corner kick. And it'll be back-to-back corner kicks. So that'll be the 4th. This will be the 4th of the half. And as we basically said earlier, or as I said earlier, into the 4th quarter of action here in the first half. Gross. Her attack will go off of Botkins, the player, out of bounds. So 3 successive corner kicks for the Vikings. There's a chance. Header is missed. A couple players go down. A couple players pop back up. And all as well as the Trojans try to advance it and clear it. A lot of contact there by those 2 young ladies trying to legally gain possession of the ball. Whoever said soccer was not a contact sport is wrong, because it is. Pitts with possession. She crosses midfield, protecting the ball to the best she can. A lot of action there is, again, some battling here on this side as Barnes and also for the Trojans, Bayless go to work. It stays with Botkins. Bayless with a throw-in. She finds Camden Paul. They like for Paul to get as many touches as possible. Nice job defensively by the Vikings with the ball control. That time it skips through, though, but Botkins unable to pass possession to get anything through. This one will go through, but nobody home for the Trojans. 6.5 minutes to play first half. Logan Phillips working against Addison Blindauer. Through ball, foot race. It will stay right on the line and stay in bounds as Botkins turns the direction on the ball. The action, though, stays here with Miami East. Out of bounds. Throw in coming up for the Vikings. Logan Phillips, one of the 4 captains, along with Maren Gross, Katie Paulus, and Maria Brorman, quad captains for Coach Jeremy Paulus's squad. Paulus in his 4th season as girls head coach. Maria Brorman, her shot on goal is collected by Munger, and I have now unofficially, of course, 9 shots on goals by the Vikings. Through ball will be picked up by Munger. She'll come away from her house, but in plenty of time to secure it. We'll kick it out and retreat back home to protect the house. Just over 5 to play in the half. Paulus, direct shot, turnaround, if you will, right into the hands on a friendly hop. Delaney Munger, sophomore goalkeeper or keeper. Far side goes out of bounds. Botkins with possession. Throw-in opportunity from the far touchline just to the Miami side of the pitch or the midfield. Through ball deflected. With the ball, number 8, Kennedy Elifritz. Did not know. She wondered her name pronounced Elifritz or Elifritz. She said it didn't matter, so I went with Elifritz. So she said she didn't know which one it was, but either way is fine. So we play on. Thank you for met with some of the girls for their name pronunciations before the match. Do our best to make sure we have it the way they want it. So if you're watching live or on replay, we do our best to make sure we get it right. And if we're wrong, let us know so we can improve it the next time. Right now, action going on here is Paul working on the left side. A couple defenders on her just outside the 18, and coming away, Barnes with a nice defensive play to take it away from Paul, but Botkins not able to take advantage on the recovery, and now Miami East with just over 3 minutes to play, looking to go into halftime with at least a 1-0 advantage. They've done a good job really limiting Botkins' offense today. Not a lot of action on the left side of the screen today. Most of the action, if you will, have been on the right side or towards the Miami East Viking goal. And on the far side here, the Vikings will attack. Body goes down for the Trojans, and she pops back up. And it will be on the far side, Botkins throw in. Quickly, that's taken away by the Vikings, and it'll stay down here on the right side of the pitch. And on the far side there for Miami East, Mara Fine, number 7, had it momentarily, and the ball scoots down now towards the sideline, and I believe it goes out of bounds. It'll be a throw in for the Vikings. Clock running, just about 2 minutes to play first half. Two minutes is the call as we finish up our first half. There's going to be a opportunity. Nope, couldn't really get one taken. Good job by Barnes. I mentioned her name a few times this half. That time, good job defensively. I want to remind you of our sponsors today, that additional sponsors that besides First National Bank, Keyhole Pizza, Precision Strip, and Winners Meats, also Carriage Works, Chiltex LLC, Cy Sweeterman, Dickman Supply. It's a corner kick by the Trojans. Goes through the middle, is cleared out. Other sponsors include Elmwood Assisted Care, Hometown Opportunity, Hillsman Automotive, Kogi Plumbing and Heating, Lincoln Electric, Minster Bank, New Knoxville Supply, Securicom, St. Henry Bank, and WCSM Radio. Those sponsors allow us to do this season, and right now you're watching Girls High School Soccer here on NK Telco Sports. My name is Jeff Henshin as we are finishing up the final minute of action here in the first half at Botkins Community Park, Miami East. And Botkins doing action here at 11. Followed up today at 1 o'clock will be the boys' version. Many volleyball, soccer, and football games coming up this fall here on NK Telco. So please, again, check out the website for more information on games and how to buy, watch, etc. 20 seconds clock running. Currently 1-0 the score in favor of Miami East. Down to 13, 12. The final 10. Shot there is secured, and that is going to be where the half is going to end. It is. 40 minutes are done. 40 minutes to come. We're at intermission. We'll take a break. We'll come back. Your score at half, Miami East 1, Botkins 0, here on NK Telco Sports.
Together, we are family, working safely for our loved ones.
We are problem solvers who challenge the status quo and drive improvement.
We care about our customer relationships.
We stay true to our values, caring and respecting one another.
We embrace change as we journey through our career.
We are Precision Strip, the world's leading processor of rolled steel and aluminum.
Precision Strip, doing the exceptional.
CarriageWorks has expanded and now can hold up to 25 cars in our service bay. CarriageWorks thrives on customer satisfaction. We accomplish that by providing top-of-the-line technology. CarriageWorks now uses a laser beam system to measure down to the millimeter of factory specs to better service you and get you back on the road. CarriageWorks has a brand new top-of-the-line paint booth that uses waterborne paint. There's no job too big or too small for CarriageWorks. We're certified collision specialists. Come in and see us today.
The Hometown Opportunity Platform is exceptional.
It is focused, laser focused on the careers in our 4-county region.
100% of the time we go to Hometown Opportunity. We've had great success from a handful of applications when we need them, as well as a recent one where we had 67 applicants.
Honestly, it's a competitive advantage.
The Hometown experience has been everything I could have dreamed of and more.
Welcome back as we get ready for second half action. A quick recap of first half action, or stats, if you will, for the first half of the Miami East Vikings. They had 13 shots, 11 of which were on goal. They did score 1, and they had 5 corner kicks, and their keeper had 5 saves. For the Botkins Trojans, they recorded 7 shots, 5 on goal. They were scoreless. They had 1 corner kick, and their keeper, the Trojans had 10 saves in the first half. The lone goal of the game came early, as I mentioned before, 38 to play in the first half by junior midfielder, forward, Katie Paulus, number 18 on the roster, and that was the only scoring we had. Much of the action was controlled by the Vikings. We flip fields, if you will, now, as the Vikings would go from the right to left, the Trojans left to right, and we're underway. Second half action clock running. The final 40 minutes are underway. My name is Jeff Henshin, bringing you today's game, along with our director, Austin Ambergy, assistant director, Scott Robinson, cameras, Mark Fissel and Josh Miller. Our crew today for this beautiful afternoon. Game 1 of 2 here at Botkins between these two schools, Miami East and Botkins. A beautiful afternoon. Weather is very comfortable and enjoyable to be sitting out here in the open. And there's a whistle, a foul, direct kick coming up for the Trojans. Recap again some of the vital stats here, which include head coach for the Miami East Vikings in his 4th season, Jeremy Paulus. For the Botkins Trojans in his 3rd season, Pedrig Murphy. Miami East in the white shirts, Botkins black shirts. Botkins again moving left to right. And that will be Botkins throw in from the near touch line. Possession right now is a strong kick off the mark for number 21 midfielder, Marin Gross. Good strong leg on that one for her, but it was off the mark. Much of the action first half, I felt, from my knowledge of soccer, was controlled by the Vikings. Although it's only a 1-goal deficit for the Trojans, it just appeared that Miami East had control of the ball. Most of the action was in front of the Botkins net, or the goal, if you will. So Miami East just seemed to me more in control of the first half. And there's another shot, and it trickles off and out of bounds. So kind of some wild action there, and it'll be put into play by the Trojans. Another whistle, and it will stay with the Trojans. Your officials for today: Dustin Winrick and Joe Jeffries, the men in red today here for this girls soccer match. Game one for each of these schools today. As fall sports get underway, football started Thursday and Friday of this week. NK Telco had a football game last night with the Minster Wildcats and Fort Laramie Redskins. Game won by the Wildcats. But a lot of action coming forward here from NK Telco Sports. Action going on right now down on the far side. Tricks out of bounds. Botkins working, running out of real estate. They try to bring it back from the end line and get some angles, but nothing available for that to happen. So it'll stay with the Trojans on the near touch. Throwing it in for Botkins will be number 7, Aubrey Top. Paul has it, centers it through, no one coming home, and Trojan there tried to make a play on the ball, could not come up with contact. It stays with the Trojans. Action going on in front of the Miami East net. Ball is cleared out, but run down by a Trojan on the left side, and they'll try to bring it back and keep that momentum going. But right now it's the Miami East Viking ball. The through ball, foot race, and a shot taken there by number 3, Olivia Loafman, is corralled by Munger, but another good attempt there by the Vikings. It'll back to action here. Number 13, Courtney Walker with a throw in. Dee Pitts there to knock it down. Pitts will send it out of bounds. Dee Pitts wears number 12. She's one of the 3 captains, along with Camden Paul, who wears number 9, and Reagan McPherron, who wears number 5. Through ball a little bit too strong. It'll be easy pickup for Addison Young, the sophomore keeper. Wears number 0 in the baby blue or Carolina blue jersey. Aubrey Top, number 7. Passed into Paul. She's able to secure it. Dee Pitts now working. Nice play by 21, Marin Gross, to stop the Pitts attack. And it comes back to Botkins on the far top of the screen. Left side. Ball is centered and never really had a legitimate attack. Goal kick coming up, and again, Addison Long, wearing the Carolina blue keeper shirt, will foot it into play. Just after 12 o'clock here Saturday morning. We are 33 minutes away from the conclusion of this game that started at 11. 2 40-minute halves of soccer. And following that, this match will be the boys' match at 1 o'clock between Miami East and Botkins. Right now, the girls' action with 33 minutes even, clock moving. 1-0 to score. Trojans have time, but have to be thinking that time is also running out. They trail 1-0, have had limited shots today, so it's been, there's a whistle. But the Trojans, down 1, have not scored yet, have had have had just a couple what I would consider true attempts to score. So a lot of time things can happen pretty quick. But so far it's taken the Trojans a long time to get really anything moving positively. And the Vikings a little bit more offensively gifted today, and still only the one goal to show for it. Ball was touched by a Trojan, number 7, Top, taken away, and with possession was Logan Phillips. Good throw in by her, gets through. Paulus trying to run it down. A whistle and another violation as it will go back to the Trojans. Ball put into play, but out of bounds at the midfield stripe. So we'll give it back to the Vikings. Quickly inbounds, it goes to Olivia Loafman. Paulus, Katie that is, working with it, has it kicked away. She'll trot over, and ball girl's way at this end of the pitch, so she'll hustle down, and instead Logan Phillips will grab the errant shot or the deflection and put the ball into play with just about 30 minutes to play, so almost through the first quarter of the second half. Good strong foot by Phillips, fielded nicely, but boy, with that kind of strength can make some things happen and give her teammates a chance. That time no one home, but a lot of foot strength there and a good ball near the net for Phillips. Taken away on the far side, whistle. The ball goes back to the Trojans. Under 30 minutes to play as we enter the second quarter. Ball put into play. Gross able to deflect it out for the Vikings. Vikings will not. Thought maybe they had a chance to break through. They do not. It stays with the Botkins. Through ball. Knocked away nicely by Fine. Mara Fine, number 7, with a good clear. And the Vikings get a through ball. And a 1-on-3 plus the keeper. Down there for the Vikings, Olivia Loafman, and she battles, and ultimately the black jerseys win out and prevent the try for score. It'll go back over to the Trojans. Mentioned the Botkins returns all but one starter from last year's team that went 10-3-3. A lot of veteran experience with 8 upperclassmen. 5 upperclassmen had experience from last year. As that ball caroms high and over the net, it'll be a goal kick for the Trojans. Botkins has had double-digit win seasons 2 years in a row, and they look to build upon that success and would love to get a WOSL, Western Ohio Soccer League title, and also a district championship. Some of their goals this season. And they have also juiced up their schedule a little bit, trying to predict or find out some teams that are strong to build them for, let's say, better experiences. There's a shot that's, again, fielded by Munger, and again, like the first half, much of the action, shooting on goal, if you will, has been done by the Vikings. Vikings, on the other hand, come in today a little bit younger, have some players back with experience, but lost 10 seniors off of last year's team that went 15-4. So very used to winning were the Vikings coming into this season, but a lot of younger kids having to fill some spots of some seniors that were lost to graduation. Camden Paul, through ball, has a teammate. Good play by Barnes. The pink shoes able to run stride for stride, battle legally, and not allow the attack, and ultimately kind of clear it and give her team a break as they reload here with the ball kicked out. Conversation going on here as number 7 for the Trojans, Aubrey Top, senior, will throw the ball in with 26.5 minutes to play in the ball game. Camden Paul being harassed by Courtney Walker. It'll be a corner kick. Second of the match for the Trojans. Good opportunity, good ball into the middle. It's headed off a Trojan, but off line, and Vikings secure it. Back and forth it goes. Pinball action here around the midfield stripe. Barnes with it on the far side. Off of a Trojan, it'll be Viking ball on the far touchline just in front of the Botkins bench. Vikings just now across midfield, and is working the ball with them was number 5, Karis Miller, sophomore midfielder, had it there for a while for the Vikings. Out of bounds it goes, throw in for the Trojans. On the pitch now for the Trojans, other than keeper Munger, include Reagan McPherson, Aaliyah Monin, Aubrey Top, Camden Paul, Delaney Pitts, Addison Blindendauer, Ava Woodruff, Lily Bayless, Milena Monin, and Zoe Longbreak. Trojans on the pitch right now as they will again need to turn up the switch here, as they need to, not that they haven't been trying, but need to get a little bit, try to look for some more breaks, opportunities as we approach the 24-minute mark of the second half. It's been a struggle offensively for the Trojans. Give credit to the Vikings defense. They've been in the right place at the right time. They've battled stride for stride at times to limit attacks coming from the Trojans. And that can be very frustrating on a veteran squad that was hoping maybe some of their leadership, veteranship could result into some early goals, put a little bit of pressure on a younger squad, but right now it's been just the opposite. A good strong kick way back at the beginning of the match by Katie Paulus on a angle, about a 45-degree angle, maybe from 12, 15 yards out. Just hit it right, that it had enough height that it floated over the outstretched hands of keeper Delaney Munger and found the back of the net. That was the first and, to this point, the only goal scored in the match. Off of the body of number 1, Elena Grice. Pitts for the Trojans, the blonde-haired with the orange shoes, trying to keep control, loses it, through ball, foot race. The Trojans will try to keep Paulus offline, and they do. They kind of use 2 players to kind of funnel her, to slow her down, to not give her the one-on-one opportunity. Ball stays in bounds. Again, some contact off the chest of the Trojans. Left foot strike by Walker. And for the Trojans, again, they're trying to find an opportunity, a break, a crease, maybe get Camden Paul the opportunity. She had an attempt in the first half. There's a shot taken by Gross. It's off mark, but there was a key play in the first half by keeper Addison Long. Paul ended up basically kind of going one-on-one versus her inside the 18, and Addison Long kind of used a foot dive or dove at it with her foot, got a deflection off Paul, saved the opportunity before Camden Paul could make a strike or take a attempt. But that's been about the only real concerning or legitimate chance for a score for the Trojans. A good play by Long, though, to squelch it, and we are still 1-0 here in the second half. Gross, Marin Gross with, I'm sorry, that's number 24, Logan Phillips. Phillips will reload here with a touch, or with a throw in from the touchline. Up to teammate Courtney Walker, number 13. Over to 21, Marin Gross. Dee Pitts takes it away for Trojans, and it's cleared out to the top where number 23, the pink shoes, Haley Barnes. Or pinkish orange shoes, I guess. Maybe they're more orange. She's had some nice plays today. I remember calling her name and number. Opportunity here for the Vikings. They still have control. The through ball right into the hands of Munger. A nice pass from Karis Miller, number 5, to Elena Grice, number 1. Strong contact, but basically right into the paws of Munger. She was able to deflect and gather. As we approach the end of the second quarter unofficially and begin the third quarter here of half number 2. Just over 20 minutes to play. Far side. Ball is kicked out of bounds. Dead ball. 3 subs for the Trojans on the far side enter the pitch. It'll be Botkins' goal kick when we resume play. And that will take us below the 20-minute mark as we touch it right now. We're into the final half of the second half, quarters 3 and 4. If you divide it by 10. Players trot off, and some of those players will probably get wind and come back in for the final stretch, as they will begin to probably have to turn it up if they can't muster a tying score for the Trojans. And at some point, maybe put it into attack mode a little bit more. Again, not that they've not been trying, but just good defense by a scrappy Vikings soccer club that has not made many mistakes today. Delaney Munger with a goal kick. Possession will stay with the Vikings. Dangerous situation here as Botkins will deflect it off a Viking, out of bounds, goal kick Trojans. Or maybe I misread that. Maybe it was off of a Botkins player, so it'll be a goal kick. Corner kick. Thank you. It's always good to have an extra set of eyes and ears in the van helping me when I misspeak. Those guys in the van today, Austin Ambergee and also Scott Robinson, helping us bring you today's matchup. Game 1 of 2. Our camera operators include Mark Fissel, Josh Miller. I'm your announcer, Jeff Henshin. And we are, again, starting another active season of NK Telco Sports, and pleased to be here, and especially since it's not raining and it's not cold, so it makes it even that much more fun to do, as we are covering girls soccer today. Again, football action, boys soccer action, girls volleyball, college sports, including Ohio Northern football, soccer, and volleyball. Hopefully all on schedule, or we can cover those games. A lot going on, and excited to do another year of this for you. So Action continues here. 17 minutes and 35 seconds to play in the ball game. 1-0 to score. Vikings center cross deflected out of bounds. It'll stay with the Vikings as substitution for Miami East will allow Dee Pitts. Again, she was not out long, so I think she got her break and her go-go juice, and she'll be looked to make something happen here the final 17 minutes. Throw in. Finds a Trojan, and Botkins needs to be careful to clear it properly, and they get it out a little bit outside the 18 box. Through ball across the middle. There's Dee Pitts, very active, athletic young lady, and she's one of the 3 captains here on a Trojan team, so good things usually from your captains are expected. A little bit more pressure put on to be the leader, and they'll look to her and Pitts and McFerrin to help right the ship here for the Trojans. Here is 16 minutes to go. They trail 1-0. Ball is centered. Miami East kicks it out. It stays with the Trojans. Botkins again trying to find good passing angles, and just seems like there's a white shirted Viking every time they want to try to make offense create. Throw in there by number 20, Milena Monin for the Trojans. Ball is pushed up. Katie Paulus near for the Vikings, not able to get a good run on it, and Botkins able to make contact and slow down the action with the kick out of bounds. Mentioned our sponsors earlier in the game that include First National Bank and Keyhole Pizza. Also Precision Strip and Winners Meats, helping us bring you these telecasts today and throughout the season. Right now it's girls soccer high school action. Whistle. Violation on the Vikings. It'll be Botkins ball deep inside. Yes, Botkins ball on their side here. Long way to go. Again, I mentioned earlier, some time is left, but it's been so difficult for the Trojans to get some good attacks on it. It just seems like you're down 4 goals, if you will, because it's just been so hard to get an attempt to even get the first one. But that can change in a heartbeat. Botkins, a veteran team, not used to losing a lot. They win a lot of games here the past couple of years, and they look to attack here. Just under 14 minutes to play. Miami East with all 10 players basically on the right side of the field, so they have about 8 of them down there in front as the through ball goes through. A brief threat, if it could have been maybe a little bit more on line, and it did not work out. It stays with the Trojans. Those are the kind of plays you need to connect on. You throw it in the opening and you kind of hope the timing is right and that everyone reads it correctly, and plus no one's in the way, so a lot of things have to go right to get those shots off. Pitts near side, battling against Barnes, goes out of bounds off Barnes. Pitts with the throw in. Nope, she'll give it over to number 20, Milena Monin. Haven't called on number 9 much today, and that's Camden Paul. She's a girl the Trojans would like to have the ball in those scoring situations. The through ball, the keeper elects not to come out. Logan Phillips, left side. contact. Botkins goes down. And there's a foul against the Trojans against Phillips. So that foul might be just outside the 18, so I don't think my soccer knowledge is limited, but maybe it was a foul on Miami East. I'm not. There was some contact, some rough play, and the officials today, Dustin Winrick and Joe Jeffries, and it appears it was a foul on Miami East. So if that foul was the first contact, it just took a long time to actually stop the game because it seemed like there was contact later than the whistle, but I'm not for sure. I do know that's Botkins' ball, and they will go to work with just under 12 minutes to play. Ball up to the middle is into the hands of the Vikings now, and they will kind of maybe not stall, but just be careful. We don't need to rush it. Offsides is called. Paulus got a little bit behind the Botkins defender when the ball was kicked, and that warrants the whistle and the offsides violation. Paulus loses it. That was Paul right there, Camden Paul up the sideline to the left. Through ball, or the pass deflected. Right now, that's really all the Vikings need to do is take away the angles, deflect the ball, force Vikings to kind of start over, especially on this side of the line, left side of the midfield. So long way to go for the Trojans as we approach the final minutes here of the unofficial third quarter and start the fourth. Barnes over to Phillips. Center ball deflected, stopped by the Trojans. Kicked out of bounds, and it'll be throw in for the Vikings. Substitutions for the Vikings will allow Botkins to also bring in two more. Other sponsors include Carriage Works for these games, Chiltex LLC, Cy Sweeterman, Dickman Supply, Elmwood Assisted Care, Hometown Opportunities, Hillsman Automotive, Kogi Plumbing and Heating, Lincoln Electric, Minster Bank, New Knoxville Supply, and NK Telco. Other sponsors that help us do these games, and we appreciate them for their ability to do so, as that shot on goal is picked up and fielded by Munger, and she'll put it out, but it goes right over the head of a Viking. Botkins now, as there's a touch for Paul. She angles up the sideline, hoping to find her teammate, and they advance down the sideline, but a good defensive play by the Vikings. Slow it down as we enter the under 10 mark here at Botkins Community Park. 9 minutes now and 12 seconds in the ball game. Miami East in the white, Botkins in the black. Just off the west side of Interstate 75 on a beautiful high school facility at Botkins Community Park. That shot taken on the far side deep. Sometimes you get a big hop over the keeper's head, but that one, big hop out of bounds. Munger to start the kick from the goal, the 6-yard box. It actually ends up into the hands of the Vikings. Botkins struggles, maintains, gets, and will advance it under control across the midfield stripe. That, I believe, is Paul working on the far side. Her center ball is nearly into the hands of Pitts. A collision. Bodies go down and bodies pop up. Good job by Addison Long. And I believe also give credit to Logan Phillips, number 24, kind of getting in the action as well, not letting D.D. Pitts get the pass from Camden Paul. That was the kind of situation you want with Pitts and Paul working together. Opportunity, good players. This is Paul, left side. Pulls the trigger. Well struck, but high. Unofficially, I'm sure I'm not right, but there have not been many shots taken by Botkins that have been on goal today, or in the second half especially. I'm just thinking back through them. There's probably some shots that should be called shots and I didn't catch it, but to me, visually, that was one that appeared to be just high over the bar. But if Paul can get it down a little bit, it scores, because I don't believe Addison Long, probably isn't tall enough to reach the top of the crossbar. So those are the spots where if you can hit it, they're guaranteed to go in because no one can stop them. But that was about the first mark I have on my little stat sheet for Botkins here in the half. Whereas I have Miami East with a much more here in the second half, just like the first half. More shots, most of which were on goal. So give them another 5 or 6, 7, 8 of those as Munger comes up to corral the loose ball inside the 18-yard box. Now Miami East has not put any between the pipes, but they have, in my opinion, had more attempts or good shots at it. I do think Botkins, I remember from the first half, I think someone hit one off the post. So that would have also been a near. There's one off the post, and there's a header. So as we speak, a couple more attempts there. Wild action here. Attempt from the right side off of what looked like the top of the post, and then a header that just missed left. So things getting wild here, but also things running out of time for the Trojans. Under 6 minutes to play. They trail 1-0 on their home pitch here at Botkins Community Park. Ball's put into play. Scoots through and right into the foot of Marin Gross. Now number 5, Karis Miller with it, and Miami East a little bit able to conserve time here, as that was Jenna Taylor, number 16, with the foot. Clock in favor of the Vikings as we approach the final 5 minutes. They're in no hurry. Delaney Pitts, though, is in a hurry. Ball passed up the sideline. Through the gap, Paul able to get it. Barnes were able to slow down the action. The pass skipped by Mara fine and into the hands of, or into the feet of Paul. She will throw it in. But a good job by Barnes, able to deflect it out, slow down the attack, let her teammates recover, play basically 10 on 10 here, or 10 on 11. Bodies go down, bodies get up, and I think she touched it with her foot. Or when you're on the ground, you can't attack or touch it, and she did, so it'll be Miami East ball with 4 minutes, 24 seconds. 4:20 right now to be exact, as they will get ready to put it into play. Again, Miami East in no hurry as the clock now is under 4:10. Good strong kick by Gross. Elena Grice, number 1, with it, had it. 17, Maria Brorman with some foot action off of the Trojans. Throw in right at midfield, number 13, Courtney Walker. As maybe a good way to kill some more time here is to sub. Again, now the clock is stopped at 3:50, so I don't know all the technicalities of it, but the clock is stopped now at 3:50. So there could be some timing rules that come into effect when it's near end of game, as now it begins to run. 3:46, 3:45. Miami East with the ball. Carissa Miller, and exactly, she's the one battling there with Pitts. Vikings now will try to get the ball back. They do so. Paul, no, that was not Paul. This is Paul on the right side. Opportunity here. They're going to go down and bring it back. Pass back up. Not cleared. Attack left. Good aggressive move by the Trojans. Their shot, though, off the left side, but that's the kind of play you want. Bring it down, drop it back. And I can't see who did it for Botkins. I know Paul centered it. But Botkins cannot come up with a score. Clock moving. 2 minutes now, 45 seconds remain. Miami East, be very careful. No mistakes here, and they can come away with a huge win in game number 1 for their team. Clock moving, 2:25. Little controversy maybe of whose ball it is. Goes right back to Miami East. Courtney Walker with a throw-in. Paulus working against Woodruff. 2 minutes, 120 seconds, clock moving. Pitts down the sideline to Paul. She'll try it again. Can't quite get an avenue. Pass back to Paul, out of bounds. Opportunity missed, or not really able to be taken advantage of, but Botkins got into the 18 and had a couple chances. This could not connect on the actual attack. Clock moving now, 1:25. Long with the goal kick from the 6-yard line. Top might have been the one earlier that had the shot on. Well, maybe it wasn't. I'm trying to think who had that. Never mind. We'll go on. Just over 60 seconds to play. Paul changes directions. Paul to the center. Goal by the Trojans. Assist from Camden Paul. And I'm waiting for the announcement and or the number. Far side. It might be McPherrin, number 5. And that goal came, I think, at the 1 minute mark, because I'm going to put down unofficially. There's 60 seconds to play. The goal came. So 1-1 to score, the final 30 seconds. Miami scored early in the match. Botkins has scored very late in the match. 25 and moving. Miami's trying to clear it deep in the corner with Fine as Paul with the ball. The final 8 seconds, she'll put it down. This will be the final corner kick into the middle. It's secured, and there is the final buzzer. So a 1-1 draw will finish today's game. Good battle here as they competed well and finish up the 2 40-minute halves tied. We'll take a break, come back, wrap things up here from Botkins Community Park on NK Telco Sports.
At First National Bank, we are working hard to make your life a little easier. With products like Card Valet, an app allowing you to control your cards with real-time notifications, transaction restrictions, and spending limits. The ability to access your money through 55,000 all-point ATMs across the country, surcharge-free. Live customer support when you need it, and online and mobile banking, allowing you to gain access to your financial information wherever and whenever you like. First National Bank, making your life a little easier.
Hi, I'm Mallory. My grandpa's been making the world's worst pizza for 30 years. That doesn't look like the world's worst pizza. Grandpa, I know why they call you Chunky Bob. It's because you use chunky ingredients on your pizza.
Of course, it's not because I'm fat.
Grandpa, this is the world's best pizza. Keyhole Pizza, come check Grandpa out.
Dine in or carry out.
Together, we are family, working safely for our loved ones.
We are problem solvers who challenge the status quo and drive improvement.
We care about our customer relationships.
We stay true to our values, caring and respecting one another.
We embrace change as we journey through our career.
We are Precision Strip, the world's leading processor of rolled steel and aluminum.
Precision Strip, doing the exceptional.
Welcome back to Botkins Community Park. My name is Jeff Henson, where the Miami East Vikings and Botkins Trojans tie today, 1 goal apiece. Our stats for the afternoon or for this match for the Vikings, their shots, 22 shots, 19 on goal. They recorded 8 saves and earned 7 corner kicks. For the Trojans of Botkins, 10 shots, 7 on goal. They had 6 saves and 4 corner kicks. The goals for the Miami East came at the 38 mark of the first half by number 18, Katie Paulus. And for the Trojans, they took them until the final minute of the game. And I'm going to have to say it was number 14, Addison Blindauer, that scored the goal. From what I'm being told, it was a tough spot for me to see, but she got an assist from Camden Paul. And Blindauer put it in the back of the net to tie it up at 1, and that is how the match ended. So a good battle today by 2 teams that brought a lot of W's from last year and want to bring a lot of W's this year. They didn't get a loss today. They'll tie and move on. So a great way to start the season for each. And it was a good match to call. Hope you enjoyed it. One more piece of business I'd like to take care of, our player of the game today. And we're going to go with the Botkins sophomore, number 14, who I have down as scoring the tying goal, Addison Blindauer. Congratulations to her for our NK Telco player of the game. That will wrap things up here from Botkins from game number 1. We also have the boys coming up here in about 15 minutes of game number 2. And that action will be covered here as well. So I hope you enjoyed this telecast. Our camera crew today included Mark Fissel and Josh Miller. My directors included Austin Ambergy and Scott Robinson. My name is Jeff Henson. Hope you enjoyed this telecast. And thank you for watching here on NK Telco Sports.